What's up, everyone? Today we are going to do a retold tier list. This time we're going to do the god powers in the game, and there is a big spectrum of amazing god powers all the way to kind of like trash. In this game, obviously now we can reuse god powers, so this changes the game quite a bit. So Bolt, I think, is an overall pretty damn good god power to start with. You can do a lot of things with this. I mean, most people just kind of bolt the first classical age hero, whether it be Achilles or whoever it is. It's a really strong opening god power. And then it's also good for late game. I don't believe you can bolt the Son of Osiris anymore in Nidhogg, so it kind of got nerfed. But it's still pretty strong. It's not as strong as it used to. You could also bolt the Titan, and that would do a lot of damage, but now it kind of just tickles the Titan. So it's solid, but it's not amazing. I'm gonna put this kind of in the middle, right in the middle. I don't want to go too in depth because there's so many kind of god powers, and I'm just gonna kind of go with the feel because this all obviously is gonna be changed pretty quickly, or we don't even know which is good or not, or if they're reworking balances, all this stuff like that. I'm gonna be using this kind of chart on my other monitor. I'm gonna pull it up. It's pretty helpful to like see like what costs like what is the favorite cost for these god powers and stuff like that. But I'll go on that one at a time. All right, so that's the first one. Now I'm gonna go over. Let's do Sentinels because we talked about this as well. Sentinels is pretty cool. You can what a lot of people do is they like to put their Sentinels on the forward town center and pop it up. And so I mean it's pretty solid. Same thing. I actually think this is a little bit better than the Bolt because it kind of just gives map control and you can get all that hunt around your second town center that might be exposed. And you got to remember I'm doing this tier list based on like not just overall like power because obviously then all like the mythic age god powers would be S tier. But you have to understand like the situation, like is the archaic god power like really strong at that point in time? You know what I mean? So it's really dependent and like what stage of the game you're in. Okay, now we got the lure. I think the lure is kind of they buffed it. Now you can drop off resources at the lure, so I think that's pretty interesting. But it's still kind of like it's kind of meh. It's like all right, like it gets all the food to your spot. It's nothing crazy. I think Bolt and Sentinels are way stronger. I mean on a map where like there's a lot of hunt, it can get a lot better because you might not be able to push out of your base, so it's kind of nice. But if you're not getting map control with Poseidon, a lot of times they're kind of screwed anyway. So or Greek in general. So I mean it's okay. I think I'm kind of S tier or C tier, not S tier, C tier. All right, moving on. Let's go into let's do Pestilence now. So Pestilence. Pestilence is very strong. It's not D tier. Pestilence I actually think is S tier now. So Pestilence just used to stop units from training. Now it not only does it like it doesn't stop it anymore technically. It slows it down by a lot, but now it stops arrow fire from all buildings. So that is crazy. That changes the game entirely. You can just put Pestilence on top of a town center or just their main base, and then all their buildings are not firing arrows anymore, and now you can just flood units. This is amazing against Egyptian and kind of just rushing in and delaying their, pushing them off gold and gold starving them. So I think this is an amazing god power now. Pestilence is absolutely amazing. It's amazing on water maps, and it's amazing for gold starving Egyptian. It's amazing against anyone where you just want to flood units. So this is 100% S tier. You're going to see this a lot from Hades and Poseidon. A lot of Ares rushes now because they're going to get access to that Pestilence. Moving on, we have Restoration. I'm just going to go down a line here. We have Restoration. So Restoration is very strong. I think it was nerfed slightly. Like it doesn't seem as quick to like kind of recharge your health up to full HP as it was in the original game. Still pretty strong god power. I'm gonna probably just put it right there in the middle. Nothing too crazy. I mean, now you can spam it a bunch of times, so it's kind of cool, but it's like it's okay. It's not that amazing compared to these other god powers. Like I think Pestilence is way better. I mean, this is mainly used for like Athena rushing and stuff like that, saving your heroes, going all in on a town center. But I think it's B tier. I think it's solid. All right, moving on. We have Ceasefire. So, what's interesting about Ceasefire is now they made it so it's only 30 seconds, right? But, however, now you can spam it out and it's pretty cheap. So, what does this mean? It means late game, you're able to spam out Ceasefires very quickly, so it can be really tilting late game. But it's been kind of nerfed. Like 30 seconds is not that long. I don't think Ceasefire is that amazing anymore. So it's but however this is where they buffed it. They made it so you can use Ceasefire at any point in the game. So if someone put down Eclipse, you can still use Ceasefire. So that's kind of cool. I still think overall it's kind of in the middle. And I'm gonna put it in B tier. Yeah, so you can see the kind of the cost. Look at the cost. It's only plus 25 every time you use it again, so it's really not that big of a difference. With restoration, it's only plus, what is that? Plus 5, so that's kind of good. Talking about earlier, plus 5 with pestilence as well. So that's really insane. All these god powers right here are plus 5. Ceasefire is plus 25 for whatever reason. So I'm definitely putting that more in B tier. I think pestilence and restoration are probably slightly better. Curse is pretty strong, and now you can curse myth units. So I think this has actually been buffed quite a bit. I'm gonna put this at the top of B tier. I think curse is pretty strong. Actually, I might even put it in A tier because I believe you can curse villagers as well. So you can curse villagers and army. This is pretty damn strong. It was always good in the original game, but if you can still curse villagers, which I don't remember if you can, but I know for sure you can curse myth units. So I'm gonna put this in A tier. Okay, next we have bronze. So bronze now works on myth units. I believe it didn't work in them in the original game. I'm almost positive. So bronze now works on myth units. It's still not that amazing. I think I'd way rather have access to underworld, which I'm about to talk about next. Bronze is it's okay. It's not that crazy. I think probably B tier as well, right in the middle. Nothing too insane about bronze. You make your units a little bit stronger, but there's better heroic age god powers. Don't think so for curse. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember in the game because I don't think I used it or no one used it against me. Most people just went um, the other one, or bronze or whatever. So I don't remember if curse can get villagers. But if curse can get villagers, it's A tier. If it can't, it's B tier. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, next we have Underworld. Underworld is absolutely amazing. I love Underworld. I think it is at the tippy top of A tier. It's very close to S tier, but I think it's just slightly not out of S tier because there's a couple other god powers that are just so crazy strong that I just can't put it in S tier. But Underworld is amazing, especially now that you can spam it down. And as you can see, if you go over here to Underworld Passage, it's only plus 25 favor for repeat cost. So it's not that expensive compared to something else where like plus 50 or plus 200 as you can see with the Plenty Vault. So it's pretty cheap actually to keep plopping down underworld passages. So that's pretty strong. So I'm putting that in A tier. All right, moving on. Now we got Earthquake. Earthquake, pretty damn strong god power. I think it when the games I played, it felt about the same as it was in EE in the original game, and it was always very strong. So Earthquake, I think I'm gonna put probably A tier as well. A tier for Earthquake, very strong god power. It just doesn't quite, it's not as quite as powerful as the couple other god powers I'm gonna talk about. Um, and that is going to be next we're talking about. So plus only 5, interesting, or Artemis. So yeah, you can spam those out as well. But okay, so the next god power we're gonna talk about, Plenty Vault. Plenty Vault, same thing. I'm gonna put this in A tier as well. It's very strong. Now you can put down like many of them. It's really insane for late game. It might be an S tier. It's very close to being S tier, but I think there's a god power that's even better that just can completely flip games. It's very like dependent. Where like if you can get numerous Plenty Vaults, you're definitely gonna win the game. Um, I think it is S tier, but it's like probably the bottom of S tier compared to these other ones. So I'm gonna put an S tier. I think it's either top of A tier or bottom of S tier. Especially now that you can put numerous of them on the map. And if you can get like 2 or 3 on the map, it's gonna be very hard for you to lose. Okay, moving on. Now we got Lightning Storm. Okay, so Lightning Storm is S tier. Unless they nerfed it, I think might be reworking it. But in the OG, in the first beta, or whatever, it could kill Son of Osiris. It could kill the Nidhogg. So where's the Nidhogg on here? It could kill both those Mythic Age God powers. It could kill both these guys like instantly basically, and then it kills the rest of your army and it kills villagers. It was insane. People were doing like double lightning storm builds where they lightning storm one time and then doing it again within like 5 minutes of each other. It was absolutely broken. You basically just won the game for free. I was ahead of this one player, which made me just rethink life. It was really funny actually. Like I was playing as Raw and I thought I was in a great position. I felt like I was way ahead. I was crushing him, and then he blasted down lightning storm, took out my Son of Osiris, killed a couple villagers. It was like, damn, that sucks. But it was still a close game. Like I still felt like I had a slight lead. And then he did it again in 5 minutes, and I was like, what the fuck? He killed like 20 of my villagers, and I was like, all right, that's GG. And I'm gonna talk about that now because I think that's insane. It's insane. Double lightning storm is completely crazy. So I'm gonna put that in S tier. Next, we got prosperity. Prosperity. Now you can spam it out quite a lot, so I think it's a lot better. Kind of same thing with like rain. You can kind of plan it out better, but I'm gonna put all these like kind of resources one in the middle because I haven't like looked at like the numbers of everything exactly. Just for my feel of the game, it doesn't feel too crazy. It doesn't feel too weak either. So I'm gonna put it right in the middle. And then rain. Okay, so rain. So I believe they shortened the time of rain. It used to be an S tier god power. Like even though it's archaic, it used to be basically S tier god power because Raw builds up their entire kind of strategy around rain. I think it's been nerfed a little bit, but now you can kind of spam it, so that kind of compensates for it. Let's see how much it costs to keep reusing rain. So uh, it's plus 15 for repeat cost compared to other god powers, which are only like plus 5 and plus 10. So if rain is a little bit more expensive, um, I'm gonna put this at the top of B tier. It might be maybe A tier. I'm gonna put an A tier. I think A tier. It's very strong god power, where you can just keep reusing it as raw. I haven't looked at the exact numbers either, and they could have reworked it as well. All Egyptian stuff could easily be reworked. Everything could be reworked here, but this is just my feel from the stress test and the original beta. So vision is pretty strong with was a set because you can kind of teleport across the map and immediately just like plop down shifting sands. Don't forget rain and Eclipse doesn't block GPs. Oh, that is true. That is true. Yeah, so they're not as strong anymore. You might be right. I'll put them in the B tier. It's either bottom of A or top of B. I'll just put them in B tier. That's fine. Okay, Vision. Vision is very strong with set. I don't think it's as strong as Rain, but it is very strong early on. This is kind of in the middle. The same theme. Like there's gonna be a lot of God powers that are just like they're all right. They're fine. They're not weak, but they're not insane either. Vision can be very strong early on to like obviously deny your opponent from either hunt or getting a second town center because you can use vision and then kind of pair that up with shifting sands and then deny whatever they got. So I do think vision is strong. I don't think it's kind of better than any of these right here. I'm gonna put this like all the way at the bottom. I'm gonna put it at bottom of B tier. Actually, I don't even know if it's in the B tier because I feel like everything else here like I'd rather have. So yeah, I'll put it in C tier. I think C tier makes more sense. Plague of Serpents. So it no longer, I believe they are no longer technically myth units, and they're just like considered wildlife. So your heroes don't do damage against them anymore, or don't do bonus damage against them anymore. So it kind of like buffed Plague of Serpents, but in the original game, Plague of Serpents was insanely weak, and I still don't think it's that strong. It's kind of nice, adds a couple more units you just have to deal with, and like pushes your opponent off their second town center or their hunt or whatever. So it's okay. I'm gonna put this as well at C tier, not super strong. Okay, next thing we got is Eclipse. Eclipse. I really love Eclipse. I think Eclipse is easily A tier. It no longer blocks god powers as well as someone else said in chat. So Eclipse used to be able to like you place down Eclipse and you can block other god powers and you can kind of use that to delay your opponent from doing whatever. And so you could use Eclipse and then they can't do anything else. But now god powers can be stacked on top of each other. So you could use Eclipse and your opponent could use Ceasefire. However, I'm pretty sure Eclipse, the time period or the time length of Eclipse is now extended, so it's longer. But opponents can use god powers over top of it. So there's kind of a trade-off. I still think that's insanely strong. Like they might be able to use Ceasefire while you have Eclipse, but you still have like another minute or something. I forget the exact time limit of how it's like a minute something. It's like 60. I forget how long exactly it is. I wish I could look at the details. I'm pretty sure it's like 90 seconds or 80 seconds. It's a long time. Eclipse is a long time. Shifting Sands. Um, Very strong god power. However, people are like, "Oh my god, it's overpowered." Like people from Age of Empires community, they're like, "This is so broken. Oh my god." There's a lot of other god powers in this game that are a lot better than Shifting Sands in my opinion, and this god power used to be better in the original game, and it was really strong in the original game, but you could work around it. So two things have been nerfed with Shifting Sands. It's not immediate anymore, so units don't teleport like over immediately. It's like a kind of slight delay. It's like a half-second delay, and now you can't shift your enemy's units, so that kind of sucks. You can't shift your enemy units anymore. That kind of changes a lot. So I don't know. It's not that strong. It's not as strong as it used to. It's still pretty strong. I'll put it on top of B tier. I don't want to ramble on too much. We're already kind of talking a lot here. Next we got Ancestors. Ancestors. You can do Ancestors Eclipse. Pretty strong. I don't think anything really changed with this. So I mean, Ancestors Eclipse is always really strong. I'm just gonna put that like right in the middle. I'll put it like right here. Nothing too crazy. Citadel plus 10 population. Town center stronger. Pretty strong god power. I'm gonna put this as well, kind of in B tier. Nothing too crazy with Citadel. Locust. So this, Unless I was using it incorrectly, Locust sucks. I'm not a big fan of Locust anymore. I think like it used to be a lot stronger in the original game. You could like slaughter villagers. Now it's kind of like a path, like it goes down a path, but it's not very strong anymore. So that kind of sucks. It doesn't do nearly as much damage as it used to. I'm very tempted to put this at the bottom. I put it at the bottom of C tier because there's a couple god powers in mind that I kind of want to put at that bottom spot. Okay, next one, Tornado. Tornado is amazing. So it's kind of the same kind of realm as like Earthquake. You basically get a free town center kill if you use it early enough and your opponent doesn't get 45 town center, all that stuff like that. So Tornado is great. You can spam out Tornado. It's right behind Earthquake. I'm going to put it right there. Son of Osiris. Wait, let's go back real quick. I want to check the favor. +5, +5. Yeah, everything's +5. All like the Lightning Storm, Tornado, Meteor are +5. Okay. Son of Osiris. So Son of Osiris was strong because now he does divine damage instead of hack damage anymore. So divine damage just avoids all kind of armor um, upgrades or whatever. So he's pretty strong with the divine damage. The problem is it's if you want to get a second one, like these other people are getting like numerous like lightning storms or numerous earthquakes, it's nearly impossible. Egyptian doesn't get favor fast enough to spam out uh, enough favor to get enough. Like look, it's 350 to get a second Son of Osiris. 350. It's +50 every single time. So yeah, your second tornado might be 350 as well, but then it's only +355. Then this is 400, 450, 500, 550. It's expensive, man. So it's kind of you can't really keep spamming out Son of Osiris's. And if your opponent uses Lightning Storm, it just kind of negates your Son of Osiris anyway. So it's okay. It's okay, but it's not as good. It's not as good as Tornado. It's not as good as Earthquake. It's not as good as even like Underworld in that time period. So I'm gonna put it like right here. I think Son of Osiris is like right around here. Underworld can be even more of a game changer than Son of Osiris, so I'm gonna put it right here. Next one. Okay, let's see. Meteor. So Meteor is pretty strong as well. They buffed Meteor from original EE. Meteor before was kind of like comedy club, like it was trash. I don't think it's still as good as all these other god powers because I don't think it guarantees a town center destroyed, but it kind of destroys everything else. I think there's a chance it destroys a town center. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it completely guarantees a town center kill. But yeah, I think I'm gonna put it actually pretty low on this list right here. I'm gonna put it like right here. Um, I think all these Mythic Age god powers are better. I'd rather have access to Son of Osiris, rather have access to Tornado. Um, I'd rather have access to Earthquake, Lightning Storm, all that stuff. Okay, moving on. Great Hunt is insane with Odin. Um, I can already right off the bat put that in A tier. It's kind of hard to like put in like like exactly where it's better. It's very hard to like make comparison, but this is ballpark, just somewhere like right there, I guess. Um, probably a little bit behind Eclipse. But Great Hunt is amazing. Odin just can have so much food for days and just chill in his base, not have to worry about leaving his base. So Odin is amazing for that reason, being able to use Great Hunt. Amazing god power. I'd way rather have that than like Vision or something else, but yeah, Great Hunt's amazing. And I think can you spam it out numerous times now as well. I think that's why people were complaining that you can spam this out and just keep getting like unlimited hunt. So that's why I guess why he's really strong. You never have to like farm or you sleep and delay your farming for so long. Um, it's only +5 to recast it as well, so that's pretty cool. Okay, next thing we have Spy. So Loki gets Spy. You know, you can put it on anyone and you can just see if they're or see them anywhere as long as you don't kill them. Spy's pretty strong. You can kind of use it to gold starve your opponent or see what they're up to, but I think it's kind of like a crutch. You should be able to just scout your opponent, so I don't think it's that necessary. I'm gonna put it like bottom of C tier. I don't think it's that great. Okay, next one we have the Dwarven Mine. So Dwarven Mine, um, it's cool because now you can keep spamming it out as well, just like the Great Hunt. So you can almost delay getting gold starved as well. But it's nothing too crazy. I do think that now the fact that you can spam it out more, and then as the ages go on, it gives you more and more gold. I think that it definitely makes it better than it was in the original game. So I'll put it like probably I'll put it right in the middle. Like I'll put it like right here. I think that's pretty strong now that you can spam it out a bunch of times. Healing Spring, self-explanatory. Heals your units. Nothing too crazy. Uh, I mean, you can keep your units alive longer, especially with like Loki. You're doing a lot of damage. You run away, heal your units back, like heal it again over and over again. Odin doesn't need that because his units automatically heal, but I don't think Healing Spring's that crazy either. I'm gonna put it like right here. Like bottom, top of C. That's fine. Okay, this one, Forest Fire is trash. Forest Fire is dog shit. It is trash and retold. It's kind of sad. It doesn't do much anymore. It used to do a lot more damage to your villagers. It doesn't really do that much damage to military anymore either. It's kind of sad. Um, I think it should be buffed personally, but people have to use it differently now. Now it's more about opening the map up, just kind of flooding in units rather than actually doing damage on your opponent. It doesn't really do much anymore, so that's kind of sad. All right, that's the first D tier god power. All right, moving on, we got Heimdall. There's so many god powers, and it's tiring. We got Heimdall. Heimdall. Um, I think it's about the same. It just looks different. It just destroys like towers and stuff. I might be wrong. Someone have to correct me. I haven't seen Heimdall that much. It's basically about the same. It's very strong for like kind of gold starving Egyptians, stuff like that, taking out their towers, early stuff like that. So it's solid. It's solid. I'll put a bottom of B tier. Put a bottom of B tier. Flaming weapons. Flaming weapons is amazing. It's amazing with Loki, especially because you can kind of spam out those myth units on top of that. Because I think if your Herser are doing more damage, I'm pretty sure they spawn myth units faster as well. So it's very strong in Retold, especially since you can keep spamming out flaming weapons now. So you can kind of stay in heroic longer with Loki and just keep kind of spamming out flaming weapons. So yeah, multiple flames is really nice. Exactly. So I think this is A tier. I think this is actually like more like up here. I'm gonna put it like right here. Um, maybe Meteor might need to be lower, but I'm gonna put it like right there. I think Flaming Weapons is pretty insane. Our Walking Woods. So Walking Woods itself isn't that crazy, but it's now that we're talking about god powers here. We're not talking about minor gods. So if I was talking about minor gods, it would be different. But Walking Woods is kind of not that crazy. It's not that good. What makes it really good was the mountain giant you get with it, and then you upgrade them. But walking woods is really not that insane. It's pretty easy to counter if you know what you're doing as your opponent. I mean, it's good for timing attacks, but usually I'd rather have access to flaming weapons or even frost or whatever. So I'm gonna put it like it's it's better than locust. I'll put it like right here. Next we got Frost. So Frost in EE in original game used to be S tier. You could freeze everything. You could still do decent damage. Now you don't do, I think, nearly as much damage. You still can freeze villagers, so it's still pretty damn strong. But you can't do nearly as much damage. And I'm pretty sure they shortened the time limit of how long it freezes. So Frost isn't that good anymore. It's probably like bottom of A tier. I put it right there. Still pretty strong. Still pretty strong. Next we got Ragnarok. Ragnarok is insane. I think it's still a S tier god power. It's probably like right here. I think Ragnarok is still insane, and you can just I'm pretty sure they expanded the. Someone was telling me in chat. I did a video. My last video was about Ragnarok, and someone told me in chat that it actually didn't increase the limit of villagers. I'm pretty sure it did. I think it's like 130 now or 140 for Norse. I might be wrong. I thought you could make 100 gatherers and like 30 dwarves or something. But I know in original game you can make 120 villagers total. You can make 80 gatherers and 40 dwarves, I believe. Yeah, village is up. It's 100 total. Are you sure? I don't think it's 100 total. I don't think that's correct. EE is 8 vills, 40 dwarves. Saw someone with 440 pop after that. Yeah, that's my YouTube video, man. 444 pop actually. For foragers, not including dwarves. Exactly. So it's 140 villagers, is it not? It's 100 gatherers and 40 dwarves. Somebody needs to look this up. As rag cheesing on beta, dwarves are included. It's only 120 total, so I guess it was limited. They've reduced it then. I just don't know if that's true because I swear I had more than 100 villagers. I might be wrong. Regardless, it's still amazing. Ragnarok is still amazing. I'm gonna put that in there. Um, I'll still fact check that. I don't know if that's 100% correct. Still very strong. Moving on, we got Fimbulwinter. Fimbulwinter, I'm gonna put this. I mean, Fimbulwinter can close out games like that. I don't think it's that broken. I think it's okay. Compared to these other god powers, it's not on the same level as here. I'm gonna put this like down. Thimblewolf they're still pretty strong, obviously, but I don't think it's as good as those other god powers. Just for like, it's just not as crazy. It's kind of hard to describe every single one and compare. Like, it's very hard to make direct comparisons. I'm like, oh, what's better? And da da da. It's about there. It's right. It's about there. I don't want to rant on too long for all these. So many god powers. Um, Next we got Nidhogg. I actually haven't gotten against Nidhogg at all yet, so I have no idea how strong the Nidhogg is. Maybe one game. I don't know if they buffed the Nidhogg or not, but it's pretty cool that now you can have numerous of Nidhoggs. It's plus 50 as well, just like the Son of Osiris. I'm pretty sure you can't heal the Nidhogg. At least you could in the original game, but I can't really say much on this unit. I'm just gonna put it in the middle because I mean it is a Mythic Age God power. I just didn't go against it at all in the beta, so I have no like personal reference with it, and I haven't really seen it much. So I'll put it like A tier because I mean it's a Mythic Age God power, so I'll just put it as A tier. I don't have stats on Nidhogg, but it felt like it died much faster in Retold. Yeah, you might be right. Might be right there. Um, I'm super off the Nidhogg train. Myth being so strong, Nidhogg died with 1-1 Nidhogg core. Yeah, you guys might be right then. Based on what my chat's telling me, they're kind of you guys want it lower. Like B tier sound good. I mean, I don't know. In EE, I put an A tier. Original game, I put an A tier, but I guess you guys are telling me it's a lot weaker, so I'll put a B tier. All right, deconstruction. Amazing god power. Amazing god power, man. It's such a pain in the ass to deal with, especially now that you can keep spamming it out. I'm putting this in S tier personally. I think deconstruction is absolutely amazing. Yes, your opponent gets the resources back, but the damage is already done. You deconstruct their building, they now have to rebuild their Migdol, they now have to rebuild their palace or whatever it is. It's a pain in the ass. You can rush in there, you can deconstruct their tower, flood their gold mine, deconstruct their Migdol, flood their gold mine as well, whatever. It's an amazing god power against Egyptians specifically, but in general, it's a good god power against anyone. So I think deconstruction is S tier. I think it's amazing god power, and it only increases your favor every single time you use it by how much? Plus 10. That's nothing. That's super cheap, man. You can spam out deconstructions like nothing. Deconstructions are strong, man. So I'm putting that at bottom S tier personally. I think it's amazing. Maybe I'm overhyping it, but I just know it's such a big like it's amazing for Chronos. Um, Shockwave. Solid, solid, good for raiding. You can kind of make the villagers fly everywhere, stun them, kill them. It's great for kind of splitting the army half and half. Really good god power. How much does it increase every time? Plus 15. So I really have to look at these numbers because that's how I base off how strong they are. Because obviously, like it might be good for one-time use, but then insanely expensive to use again. So it's really important to look at the chart. Plus 15. In the original game, you get 3 for free. Now you don't get you'll get it one use, and then you can use it um, over and over again, obviously for cost. Um, Shockwave is solid. It's nothing too special. I'll put it top of B tier. Top of B tier sounds right to me. We got Gaia Forest, solid as well. I mean, you get trees, you gather faster from them. I'm just gonna kind of go through these pretty quickly now because this is dragging on for a while. We're trying to go as quick as possible, but you can't really go in depth with all of these without making like an hour and a half video. Spider Lair, I'm pretty sure got nerfed from the original game. It used to be broken, it used to be S tier. I think there's less of them. There's only 3. There should be like 4 or 5, and you can also kill them a lot faster. They were way too strong before, so I'm gonna put this like bottom of B tier now. It's not insane anymore. Valor. So a lot of people were complaining about Valor, saying it's really weak. I don't think it's really weak. It definitely loses its power as it goes on in the game, but it's very good early on because you can save a unit from like 1 HP and then bring it all the way up to back to full health, and that's really good actually with villagers. So I think using Valor on villagers is very smart. Um, it's definitely not insane. It's not. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not an amazing god power, but it's solid, right? You can save villagers, especially if someone's raiding your like Centaur raiding your Atlantean villager. You can use it on your Atlantean villager last second, save it to full health, and then it can run away. So pretty strong in that regard. But it's more kind of a niche use. So I'm gonna put it bottom of B tier. I think Spider Lair is better. Carnivora. Carnivora. I believe it's called. Yeah, Carnivora. I should know all this. Been playing A1 for years. Just the logos are kind of throwing me off. Um, so Carnivora is it's okay as well. I think it's really good for denying town centers. I do think it's better than Valor. I do think it's better than Spider Lair now. Um, I think it's better than all these right here. How much does it cost for every time, single time you use it? Only plus 5. It's a classical age god power. I think it's the best of the classical age god powers right here for Atlantean. And Carnivore is pretty damn strong. I'll put it right here. I don't think I can put it in front of Ceasefire. Okay, now we got, I'm pretty sure this is Chaos. Yeah, Chaos. So now Chaos, I believe they changed how it works. So Chaos just makes all your units fight temporarily, just fight each other, and you can't control them. It used to be where Chaos would like take like 3 or 4 of your human units and then 1 of your myth units, and there's now they're like wildlife. So it's kind of been, it's just different. It's not really nerfed or buffed. It's just kind of different in how it works. Chaos has always been pretty strong. Um, but I don't think I think it feels slightly weaker. From my at least my feel of it, I think it feels slightly weaker from the original game because you just immediately lose your myth unit and it's just gone. You don't have access to it anymore. It doesn't do that anymore. It's just temporarily and then it's gone. But your units can now kill each other a lot faster. So I don't know. Um, I'm gonna put trait chaos. Hmm. Heroic age shockwave. This is a. What do you mean, Nicrix? Wait, let's see. I think I'm gonna put this in like B tier. Like right. It's pretty strong. I mean, it's. I'll put it right there. Okay, next we have is Trader. Trader is good. I mean, you can keep using it over and over again. It costs only plus 15. Control loss for your army for a few seconds might as well be a stun. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's nothing too crazy. I get what you're saying. It's kind of like right here. That's why I put it there. Trader I think is pretty strong. Obviously, you can trader any unit in the game other than like heroes and like Nidhogg, stuff like that, Titan. But you can trade our myth units. It's very strong. I think Trader's better than Chaos personally. I'm gonna put this like put it right here. I don't know why I put Guy Force should be lower. Guy Force used to be S tier because you could tree lane me, but I kind of went too fast in Guy Force. Let's just put this a little bit lower. It's like good right there, I guess. All right, Hesperides tree. Uh, Solid as well. Nothing too crazy. You get those. I forget the name of those myth units that plop out of the Hesperides tree, but they're okay. Uh, I mean, it basically adds to your pop because they don't cost any pop, but they're expensive in gold. But now pop isn't nearly as much of an issue in Retold because you can make such massive armies. Um, yeah, exactly. The tree is less useful now that the pop limit is higher. You're exactly correct. It's exactly what I was saying. Twitch down. So I don't think it's that strong anymore. But it used to be decent before, like we just said, because it used to basically be free units for no pop. It cost no pop. Not free units, but it cost no pop. Um, so it used to be a lot better, but now pop isn't really an issue like in Retold, like I just said. So we'll put it in C tier, bottom top of C tier. I think it's still better than Serpents and all these other god powers. Okay, Vortex. Vortex is pretty badass. I mean, I it, it from when I played against it, I feel like I could run away from the vortex before it killed me and sucked up all my units easier than I did in like or compared to like OG AOM. So if that's the case, I don't think it's that good because I mean I can destroy buildings. I think it's better against buildings, and retold, but like worse against units. So it kind of balances itself out. Or not vortex, sorry, implode. Made a mistake. I meant to say implode. You're correct. Implode. Um, the logos are so similar in color. Yeah, but yeah, so implode, I think it just blows up. It does a lot more damage to buildings, but it doesn't. I feel like you can run away if you're quick enough from letting your units get sucked in. So because there's that kind of like element of like you can out micro it, I don't think it's as insane as like lightning storm. I mean, you can out micro against lightning storm, but it's harder in my opinion to do that. So I'll put it at bottom in A tier. Tantarian Gate. Tantarian Gate was always amazing in original game. Felt still pretty damn strong. Worked basically the same. I'm gonna put this as well, like top of A tier. A tier. I'm gonna put it even. I'll put it slightly behind Son of Osiris. Man, maybe behind Flaming Weapons. I'll put it like right there. Remember, like I said in the beginning of this video, it's based on when you get access to this god power, not overall strength, obviously. Because then obviously most of the mythic god powers would be at the top. Just making sure everyone's aware of that again. And then the last one. So this last one, Vortex, it's pretty awesome. I mean, you could teleport across the map with all your units instantly. Instantly. It is a Mythic Age God power. How much does it cost to use it again? Cooldown is 90 seconds. You get plus 15. basic cost plus it's so cheap, man. You can spam out if this chart is correct. Helios Vortex is ridiculous. You can just plop around the map so quickly over and over and over again. So I do think Kronos is gonna have two god powers that's S tier. Um, I think it's like right here. I think Vortex is insane. Um, but yeah, that's my tier list. I kind of had to rush through that quickly. I didn't want to drag it on too long. Just cut out parts I need to. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. And that's about it.